Hey there, everybody! It's your old pal Michael and
Kathleen.
we're here to talk about the Midwest Gaming Classic. We're going to actually do this video in two different parts. It's going to be the same video, but we're going to be talking about our experience at the Gaming Classic, and then we're talking about this bag of games that we got here for our pickups. There's about 20 in there. Some of them were for one of my friends that I found, but we'll talk about what we bought for him as well. His name's Paul, by the way, so just gonna say that. So first off, our experience at the Gaming Classic yesterday, pretty awesome, wouldn't you say so?
Mm-hmm.
So when we got there, there was like really no place to park. We had to park like in a Sears parking lot, right near the hotel. There was like I said, no parking space like in the hotel area. We got in. We didn't know where vendor hall was right away. We didn't realize it was set up in like a big tent area. So we ended up.
I thought that was actually the food area.
Yeah, we thought that was the food area. So that was funny. So we ended up like going to like checking out like the video game museum they had first. There were like games set up in the hallway, like arcade games, pinball games you could play. In the museum they had like gaming systems throughout the entire history. So you had like the Amiga in there. They had Texas Instrument computers. They had Apple computers. We played Pong.
Which I didn't do too badly at.
Yeah, I won 15-5. You scored some goals late.
But it took me a while to figure out the knob of it.
Yeah, you turn the knob and
like you're turning the radio.
And, yeah,
like you're adjusting the volume on the radio.
Yeah.
Or a TV.
Yeah, and it's like just the Pong system. That's what it was, and it was made by Atari. And there were also like tons of other stuff. Like you had Duck Hunt in there for Nintendo. They had Donkey Kong Country 2 with the Super Nintendo. They had a Genesis. They had computer games. They had light gun games that you could play in there. I know I saw like Silent Scope. I think they also had Virtual Cop. Someone was playing that. Dreamcast. Like so many different systems. They had Oregon Trail on the computer. Didn't play.
That was fun.
Yep.
I didn't play it, but I had it when I was younger, and that was extremely fun.
I did play Number Munchers on an old Apple computer. That was fun. Hadn't played that since like second grade. But this was on like a different computer. It was like with just like green and black instead of the one I played it on was like colored. It was like, the monsters were like purple and like yellow and green.
I didn't have one. My game didn't have monsters in it.
No, well, interesting. So we checked that out, and then just outside.
You had to do it by times.
Okay, and then just outside they had like people playing Smash Brothers on the 64, the GameCube, and they had the Wii U version, and I think they had the Wii version as well. And then they had like, what are you doing? Stop that. And then they had like the Philips CDI, which I actually did check out because I never like even picked up one before. Stop tickling me. I'm trying to tell the experience we had. And I played Hotel Mario on it, which is obviously one of the worst Mario games ever made. Would you knock it off? I'm trying to film a video. Get out of the way. And so all you had to... Gosh dang it, notifications popping up now. So in the game, basically all you do is shut doors. And that's all you do with Mario. But, I thought it was kind of interesting. I mean, hopping on the enemies, grabbing some coins, shutting the doors. And, it was kind of challenging to play. Especially since I'd never, played it before. And they had some... and I played the Virtual Boy. I got to play that as well. Didn't give me a headache, but it made me really disoriented after I was done playing. I played Mario Tennis on it. I remember playing at Blockbuster when the Virtual Boy had come out, but... I was terrible at it.
I think you still are today.
And I'm still terrible at it. It's hard to judge when the ball's coming at you, like where to hit it. And plus, it doesn't always get past the opponent as well. Then we went down to the gaming room where they had like arcade machines and tons of pinball games in there. They probably at least had over 100 in there, I would say. They were all I think most of them were free to play. They had some driving games. They had Pac-Man. They had Donkey Kong. And I played like the Simpsons pinball while I was there, and played Miss Pac-Man as well. So we enjoyed that. Then we actually headed back to Vendor Hall and walked around there for like a couple hours while we picked up the games. And like I said, when we went, it was like we were looking for games we never like really saw around here. Can you please stop? we saw games around here, or we bought games we didn't see around here. So that's what we did. I didn't really look at my list I had because we'd have been there like all day for that.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up staying about like 6 hours for the entire event. We like got there like right when it started at 10, and we left a little bit after like 4 or 5 because we still had like oh yeah, we left around 4, so we still had like a 5-hour drive. No, not 5. We had a 4-hour drive. 4-hour drive to get home. So we didn't want to like arrive too late, so we could at least get a decent amount of sleep. And I had to like, kind of catalog my games anyways once I got home. But we did end up having like lunch after we went through the vendor hall, and then we went back down and played in the museum and the gaming on the games. So we really got our money's worth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, meals were
I got my scare worth.
Yeah, and meals were only like $5 for like you get like a hamburger, a hot dog, or pizza, and you get to have like a drink and either a bag of chips, a cookie, or a candy with it. So that was pretty much that was worth it too. The only thing I would say is that it's really outgrown where it's at the hotel. It was really tight corridors, like walking down in between everybody.
Yeah, you almost need a convention.
Expo. Like an expo center, really.
You want to get enough space in there.
Because I mean, there were even games in the hallways. Even this like places they had to set up to play games. Like the games were so close, you couldn't like walk down the middle even to see like everyone playing. You kind of had to just like see if there was like an opening and just like go after it as quickly as you can. And they had like speakers there too, and they were like set up in like the dining area. It was like really weird setup, and the vendor hall was like under tents, like outside like the hotel area. So I mean, maybe a convention.
Yeah, they were swarming like vultures.
Yeah,
wow.
There were so many people there. I mean, I would definitely say like an expo center would be much better suited. I mean, when it was smaller, probably the venue was good, but now since it's kind of outgrown it, I would say they probably need a little bit bigger one. So like out of 5 stars, I'd probably give it like 4 out of 5 just because of the fact it seemed to be a little cramped, a little tight in there. Wouldn't you say so? Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you want to say about the whole Midwest Gaming Convention?
Yeah, like it was funny when one person moved out of the looking at all the games. A lot of people just jump in there. So if one person moves out, you gotta go fast.
Yeah.
Or you will not get a spot.
I always made sure.
At the table.
Yeah, I always made sure I was like up right behind somebody, like peeking over their shoulder, looking at games. And when they moved, I just go right in there. That's what I do. I was like one of the vultures, basically, just trying to get in there, right?
They did. They literally looked like vultures.
Yeah. But yeah,
it swarming food.
It was definitely worth it. The event runs 3 days. We only went for the one, but
we could have gone for today. But
yeah, it's like Friday. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So next year, you know, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I think tickets were $40, and I mean, it's really worth it if you want to just go play the games. I mean, there's so many different games, like I said, you could play.
Pinball.
Yeah, and if you want, and I mean, most of those are free to play. Like I said, all the ones in the museum are definitely free to play. Some of the pinball ones, there might have been some paid ones. There might have been like a couple of paid other games as well, but most of them are free to play. And of course, you know, they have tournaments. They like have some free tournaments. Like I know they had like Mario Kart. They had Tetris you could play. I think Killer Instinct you could have played in a free tournament. So they definitely have a lot of those classic like retro kind. They also forgot to mention they have like tabletop games. I think you could have actually like just like went up to like one of the people there, and because they had a bunch of tabletop games behind them, and like said, hey, I'd like to check out that game and play it. And I think they'd actually just let you kind of demo it like right there, which is like really cool. So definitely go next year. Saturday tickets were $40. Sunday is Family Day. Those were only $20. And kids 9 and under are getting free. And Friday, like I don't know what Friday was, but I think they had like some special things going on. And if you want to, I think at the hotel that they were at the Brookfield Sheraton of Milwaukee. It was like $99 for like a hotel, and it could fit up to like 4 people in that. So when you think about that, if you stayed for all 3 days, each person would only pay like $25 a night, and that'd be a pretty good deal if you could get 4 people to go. Oh, I mean, maybe next year we could get a couple of more people.
Like
and
Paul.
yeah, and ended up staying there for all 3 days. And I mean, get tickets, and one day we could dedicate to, looking through the whole vendor hall, and another day we could dedicate to going and playing all the games. So, yeah.
And then the other day we can go check out some stuff around town.
Yeah, actually, I think on Friday night, I think they actually had the option where you could have went to a Milwaukee Brewers game, which would be awesome.
That would have been sweet.
Because we went right by Miller Park, too. All right, so now...
Go for it, man.
So now that we talked about that, we'll talk about all the games we got. First one I'm going to mention, I got Star Wars Rebel Strike Rogue Squadron 3. It's the limited edition preview disc. And I actually didn't realize it was the preview disc. I read on it said preview disc, not for resale. But I thought there was a preview disc that actually came with this game. And it was actually the Rogue Squadron 3 game. But it's just a demo of it. But the preview disc actually has more than just a demo of it. They have the single player demo. They have bonus concept, game trailers, concept art, and more. And you can also play the Star Wars arcade game from 1982 on it. So that's playable on your GameCube. Since I didn't realize what it was, I'm probably just going to sell this one. Because I really would like to have the full game of Rebel Strike. I know since it's like a limited edition type thing, it'd be really nice to have. But I'm just not all for like having all the demo discs. Because I've had demo discs before, like from PlayStation Magazine and some others. And I kind of just like sold them off and got rid of them. Just because of the fact they were kind of cluttering up my collection. We actually ended up getting like a deal on some PlayStation games. We ended up getting like from one from one vendor, it was like 6 for $10.
Yeah, 6 for 10.
And there was like some really good deals in there. This was one of the games we got in that, and it was Casper for the PlayStation. It's harder to find like the Super Nintendo version. The PlayStation was easier to find. I just ended up grabbing this so we could actually get the 6 for 10 deal. So this one I'm also going to sell off as well because we were at like 5 games. We were at 5 games, and I wanted one more just so we could get that deal of the 6 for 10. And so I just ended up picking up that one just to kind of get it and sell it off. This one I got from my friend Paul. Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles. That was part of the 6 for 10 deal as well. I'm also actually looking for that, but I'll make sure that he gets that. Same thing with this one. I've been looking for this, but I'll give this one to him as well. Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace for the PlayStation. Good movie. I don't know about that.
No.
Pod racing game, that was pretty awesome. For the Dreamcast, I'd say it's better than the 64.
I've seen it in movies.
And then this one, this was in excellent shape. Even the case for this was in excellent shape. That's Medieval 2. That one we got for $25. It's actually like on the price charting website, it was like listed for $30. So it was pretty good that we got it for that. And he was looking for that one as well. Actually, so am I. But you know what? Like I said, I'll give that to him as well. So we couldn't find the first one. All we saw was the second one, and then we only saw it once. So as soon as I saw it, I made sure I grabbed it. He made sure, though, that it was within a certain price range, because otherwise I wouldn't have grabbed it. Been looking for this, and haven't seen it, but picked it up. Jurassic Park for the NES. I
found it.
Yeah, Kathleen found it for me. I also have Jurassic Park for the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, and all 3 of them are completely different versions. I think in this one you actually get to play as Dr. Sadler.
Oh, sweet.
If I remember reading about it correctly. I know in like the one for Genesis, you're what's Dr. Grant, Dr. Alan Grant, and in the like Super Nintendo one, it's like an overhead version until you get into buildings. I stink at the other 2, so probably I'll stink at that one too, but I don't care. I like Jurassic Park stuff. I heard about some YouTubers talking about ice hockey being a good game for the NES, so I picked up that one.
Tell about the Earthbound that we saw in the box.
Oh yeah, that's right. At some of the vendors, like for the games, we saw some like really collectible stuff. Like everyone, it seemed to be had a copy of Chrono Trigger, Conker's Bad Fur Day, and they all like were different ranges for prices. Like Conker's Bad Fur Day was the lowest was $80. Earthbound the lowest, not Earthbound. Chrono Trigger the lowest was probably like $90 or so. But we saw a copy of Earthbound in the box, which was pretty crazy. But they wanted like $875 for it. And it didn't even have the insert, which was, that's a key component for that. Because we're not talking like a regular Super Nintendo box. We're talking like a big one. But there's other people that had like Mega Man X3 in the box. That's a really collectible game too, especially if it's in the box. Like I said, we didn't pick up anything like that valuable. This was probably the most expensive game. Whoops, almost dropped it. That we ended up getting all day.
The Bomber.
Bomberman. I got this for $20 for the NES, and I've been having fun playing the Super Bomberman games for Super Nintendo, and so I really wanted to get Bomberman for the NES. I've been looking, like I said, for this for a long time, and I'm glad I finally found it. Same thing goes, like I said, same thing goes for any of these games, because these weren't games like we could find around here, it seemed. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
I have the computer game on this one.
This is the Genesis version, and this game is in really, really good condition, like excellent condition. There's like not even a scratch on like the cover of this game. It's complete too. It's got the map, I think, that comes with it, or yeah, it's got the detective's manual. So, and like this little insert to this poster. So it looks like it's complete. We also have Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego, and like the vendor said, well, you interested in this one as well? And I had to let him know I actually already had that. We picked it up for $10, so that was a great deal on that game. Got one game for the Wii. Not a really exciting title, but just one I had on my list to pick up pretty cheap. Six Flags Fun Park, which we actually did drive by on the way there, the Six Flags in North America. Kathleen's done looking at the detective's manual, so I better put it back in the case.
I haven't seen it.
got a game for the GameCube. Mega Man Network Transmission. I love the Mega Man games, and I look forward to playing this one as well. This one we actually got for $3. This was actually at the exact same place, the same vendor that was selling the PlayStation games that were 6 for $10. They were selling Xbox games for $3 a piece, and I got Simpsons Hit and Run. It's a Platinum Hits game. But $3 for this game is an excellent deal on, like, it would have been an excellent deal on any system. But I actually used to have it, but I sold it off for some, like, other games I was looking for. But to find it this cheap again, I'm glad I have it. This time I'm not going to be selling it off.
How much was it going to go for?
I think this game runs for close to about $20.
Jeez.
So that was good to get that one. Also for the Xbox, I picked up Star Wars Obi-Wan. Also in very excellent shape. So I've been looking for that for a while as well. This I thought was actually Kingdom Hearts, the first one, but it's actually Kingdom Hearts 2. So I still need the first one, so I'm not playing the second one yet. So I look forward to playing that RPG. It's got the Disney characters in it. It's got Mickey, Goofy, the Lion King, so Donald Duck. So it's a cross between Final Fantasy and like some different Disney characters. Here, you can look at it while I talk. This one sounds like a lot of fun to play. I've heard other YouTubers talking about it. Katamari Damacy. It's in the game. The King of the Cosmos destroys all the stars. That's what it says on the back. And you have to roll a ball around, and you end up collecting all these like objects, and then they replace the stars that get destroyed. So you can just roll up this ball, and you'll first collect small items, but then later on, you can collect stuff, I think, like cars and stadiums, it looks like. It looks like a lot of fun to play. I can't wait to check that one out. You done looking at that?
Yeah.
Okay. The next one, another PS2 game. This is The Great Escape. It's based on the movie.
Good movie.
World War II movie starring Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, he's on the background. He's motorcycle. I had this game for the Xbox, but I just had the loose copy. And first thing I came across was the PS2 copy there, so I decided to get it. I got it for like $3. I still have the Xbox copy, the loose copy. And the funny thing was, the next vendor we went to had the complete Xbox copy, so I could have just replaced it with that. But I'm gonna keep the PS2 one obviously now. And then I got Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This one I got for only like $5, which was a pretty good deal for the PlayStation 2 as well. So another Grand Theft Auto game. That actually completes the Grand Theft Auto games. I have 3 in Vice City now. And or for the Grand Theft Auto games I actually have for the PlayStation 2. I know there's like some other ones, but I kind of just stick to the main ones for the storyline for that. So I'm not going to get like Liberty Stories or anything like that. Then I got Hot Shots Tennis. I had the loose copy, but now I have a complete copy of that based on the Hot Shots Golf Series. Uses like the same characters, so it should be a lot of fun to play that as well. And then got a lot of PlayStation games. Like I said, I ended up getting the 6 for $10. So these were, like I said, really good deals. Tiny Tank, another good game. Can't wait to play that as you go around as a tank and just shoot things. Star Wars Dark Forces. Not really sure what you do in this Star Wars game. So I'm really interested in playing that. Space Jam, which is based on the movie. You end up playing, I think, basketball against the characters. That would be, obviously, I hope, the point of it. And then Jet Moto 2. I had the first and the third, so all I needed was the second one to complete that trilogy. And like I said, those were like in the 6 for $10 deal. So this one usually runs about 10. Same with Tiny Tank and Dark Forces. So getting those for just like a little less than $2, really good. And then I had the loose copies of Grand Theft Auto and 1 and 2 for the PlayStation, but I did not have them complete. Now I have them complete. I saw the collector's edition. The only time I think out of the day I really saw any of the Grand Theft Auto games, and they had this going for like 20, so I picked it up. And getting all the games by himself would actually cost around $30, so I saved myself $10 by getting the collector's edition of all of them. It's got Grand Theft Auto 2, and Grand Theft Auto London on there.
Ooh,
and I think
go around London.
Yeah, and you have, and that's a mission pack one. I think you have to have, GTA 1 or 2 to play the London one.
What?
And then I got a couple of Super Nintendo. Actually, not a couple. I did, but first off, I got a Genesis game, Animaniacs. Have the Super Nintendo version. This one's good, a little bit different, and I stink at playing it. That's why I got rid of it. But I want to try it out again. Only paid about like $7 for that. Actually, no, I paid $6 because the vendor said $6 for it. And then I got a really, really good copy here of Super Star Wars. This is like in minty condition. The label is in excellent condition, and so is the cartridge as well. That game I picked up for around $10. So now I have all 3 of the Star Wars games for the Super Nintendo.
Oh.
And then the last one, I walked away with a homebrew game. I wanted to make sure because I saw some like vendors selling homebrew games. They had so many, and there are so many different homebrew games I'm looking for, but I can't get them all at once. So I decided, well, let's walk away with one at least. And so this vendor I saw made these really, really excellent homebrew games. These are like an excellent shaped Super Nintendo shells to them. And stickers are excellent on them as well. This one is Super Mario World Return to Dinosaur Land. So this is like a sequel to the Super Mario World game. I asked them if this was like a really hard one. He said no, this one's pretty mild to play, pretty easy. There's going to be some hard levels, obviously, like there are with any Mario games. But I can't wait to try this one out. He said if you really wanted to play a hard one, play Mega Man in the Mushroom Kingdom, which is actually one I do want to get at some point because I love Mega Man games, and having him play in the Mushroom Kingdom where Mario is would be quite interesting, I feel like. I mean, they also had like Super Mario Brothers for the Genesis. They had like Super Mario in like a Sonic game. So, I mean, there's just so many different homebrew games that they make, but I mean, they're so fun to play. I look forward to playing that one and getting some other homebrew games in the future as well. So that'll do it for our trip to the Midwest Gaming Classic. You heard our review. You heard what games we got. And now we'll be going back to gaming stores. We'll be doing that again starting next month, hoping to get some more games off of our list, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I want to thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel for more content. I'll be right next to Kathleen's head. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description below. Hopefully you enjoyed the review and, seeing what games we got. And, if you haven't been to the Midwest Gaming Classic, please go again next year. I'd really love to go to other, conventions as well, like the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, but that's, way out on the West Coast.
That means he has to fly.
Yeah, and I hate flying. I absolutely hate flying. And I think there's actually some, on the East Coast as well, but I feel like I'd have to fly for those. So that's why the Midwest one is perfect. It's within driving distance. So maybe I'll see some of you next year at the Midwest Gaming Convention. It'd be fun. I know there's one guy I've been talking.
Next time we can stay.
Yeah, maybe we could stay next time. And there's one guy I've been talking to. His name's Samuel. He recommended that I pick up Mirror's Edge. I didn't see yesterday, and he told me he actually only was about 15 minutes away. He lives 15 minutes away from where it was held. And if he had known that, he would have like went and met me. So maybe next year, Samuel, we can end up meet, or we can meet some other time. It'd be nice to meet some of you guys, because like I said, I haven't met anybody in person that's like been subscribed to my channel. I'd love to meet you guys and talk to you. But I mean, in the meantime, like I said, you can talk to me on Twitter, talk to me on Instagram. You can comment on my videos. Drop a like on it, by the way, if you do like it. This video. So this is Mike Loudon and
Kathleen.
Over and out. Bye bye. Say bye.
Bye.
I forgot to mention like 3 different things before we end up going here. We're now only 3 subscribers away from 500 subscribers. So we may actually be at 500 by the time this video has come out. But if you're watching this far in and you haven't subscribed, like I said, subscribe, because at 500 we are doing a giveaway. So I will definitely, like I said, be doing that. And I know that we're really close now. Probably that's going to be within the next couple of weeks that it will be happening. So once we hit 500, we'll be doing a giveaway. Number 2, I believe in the preview for the Gaming Classic, saying we were going to it, I said we'd be coming back with probably enough games to put us over 1,000 total. We are 1 away. 999 games is where we currently sit for the amount of games we have in our collection. 1 game short. It's crazy to think about that we're almost at 1,000. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that if you ever want to donate any games to me, feel free. You can message me here on YouTube. You can hit me up on Twitter. You can direct message me on there. So if there's any games that you want to get rid of, that you want to send to me that I may be interested in, hit me up. I'd love to be able to add some things to my collection. It could be games, it could be accessories, anything you'd like to donate. And I mean, I'm not just going to accept every single donation. If there's something I'm really not interested in, I'll just simply say nope, not interested in that. But if there's something that's on my list I'm looking for, I'd definitely be more than willing to take that, because like I said, I'm not going to be going out and selling games out. I did that for a while just to get some other ones, but I'm not doing that anymore. Once it's added to the collection, it's staying there, and you can know for a fact that I will definitely take care of it, because all my games that I ever had in boxes for a kid, I always kept the box. I kept the instruction booklets. I didn't destroy them in any way. Some of my boxes may look a little mangled, just because when I was a kid, I didn't really stack them in one place. I just stacked them all on top of each other. But now I have them all lined up out and displayed promptly, where you could see them, where you can get at to them very easily. So like I said, if you ever want to donate any games to me to add to my collection, hit me up on here on YouTube, or, message me or direct message me on Twitter. Those are the best places to reach me. So now this is Michael Loudon and Kathleen, even though she's not in the room right now. Over and out.